Give us a second and we will. Good evening and a very warm welcome, everyone. Today, we're excited to be having this session on applying Ayurveda to transform everyday life. We've got with us Dr. G G Gangadharan, who's the director of the MS Ramaiah Indic Center for Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine. But he's a renowned preserver of Ayurvedic knowledge and practices. He's got so many papers that have been published, and he's doing so much research on this topic. And he's got his latest book out, which we will also talk about. Ayurveda has so much to offer. Its simple application can transform daily life. In this session, we will talk about the secret to greater happiness through balance and long-lasting health. The idea that healthcare must address the individual as a whole and not just the disease. A little bit about Dr. G G. He's very well known, but he's been researching both the theory and the practice for the past 35 years. And in his book, Ayurveda, The True Way to Restore Your Health and Happiness, he talks about the logic that is behind the science. He is actually one of the most known faces in this area. So we're very excited. And first of all, Doctor, I'd like to welcome you to Sipping Thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, so let's just get started. And I know the big question that comes up, first of all, congratulations on your book. And why did you want to write this book? And especially the title, Ayurveda, The True Way to Restore Your Health and Happiness.
See, one of the main reasons is that I believe that Ayurveda, like yoga, these two sciences, are the contribution of India to the world through its long civilizational existence. And I also feel that Ayurveda is the less understood or misunderstood and less explored science, which deserves a lot of champions. So I have mentioned in my book that we need champions to propagate Ayurveda and make Ayurveda simple enough to be understood by people who want to know about Ayurveda. And my struggle, my experience, my research outcomes, etc., is of tremendous value to me. I thought it should come to the public, and so that people can get inspired to work and look into this more deeply. And one of the most important reason adding to that is that what we see today as Ayurveda is only the tip of the iceberg. I believe there is more Ayurveda waiting to be explored and understood. So if this book can kindle interest in young minds, that will be another contribution of this book.
So, sir, you always probably get this question, Ayurvedic treatment versus allopathic treatment. Can both coexist? How do you look at both of them?
See, both sciences have got tremendous contribution to the world of healing. So we do not underestimate the sciences, but I do believe the science of modern biomedicine, which is reductionistic in nature, and science of Ayurveda, which is holistic in nature, can go together even though it is traveling through two different paradigms. There are areas of meeting, and I have experienced myself in my practice. I make use of modern medicine, especially its investigations and its skills in acute system management is a boon to the medical science. Whereas when it comes to the lifestyle diseases, multi-causal diseases, chronic disorders, structural problems in the system, or functional disorders due to enzymatic imbalances, Ayurveda can do a lot. So if there is an institution or a group or a project to work to combine this together, it will be the greatest, one of the best service that we can do to the humanity. And I do believe both healing tradition can go, but it will not happen on a fine morning. It has to go, a lot of homework has to be done, which has been initiated in places like National Institute of Health in the US, many European countries, and in India also. So the concept of integrative medicine has come out of this effort of understanding both sciences from its own way and how it can contribute to the larger society. So I do believe this can coexist. And before getting to that stage, there is a stage called summative medicine, which I have devoted one chapter in my book. Summative medicine is that area of evolution of medicine to the integrative stage, where two systems independently start to work on a healing situation, and later on come to a meeting point. So I think summative medicine, which lead to integrative medicine, is the future of uh, uh, 22nd century medicine, I should say.
So, sir, I know you probably get this question now because we're still in COVID. A lot of people are still recovering. So, any post-recovery protocol that is in Ayurveda that you're recommending, or any tips for COVID that you are recommending?
Yes. See, post-COVID area, there are a lot of issues that is being faced by people who have come out of this COVID. One of the most common area of that, the lung capacity and severe tiredness and body pain and lack of ability to more, take more efforts. So in my experience, what I am doing is bringing back the energy back to the system can be done by the Rasayana group of medicine, Agni Devaga kind of medicines, and medicine which can help to the tissue building. So we have got a group of, we in Ramaiah, Ayurveda has been giving us a preventive medicine as a decoction made into the form and being given to the people. Post-COVID also we are giving, especially there are very good medicine which works on the lungs alone, like Agastya Rasayanam, Kushman Rasayanam. There are many preparations which are already made, already told in the classical text. We also give a kind of dietary advice, which is very easily digestible food, including fruits and vegetables and easily digestible food. So there is a kind of package that can be advised to the people who come for post-COVID care. There is a protocol that's being, even now, I don't know how many of you are aware, there is a protocol being developed and issued by Government of India through the Ministry of Ayush to be followed by physicians in treating mild to moderative stages of COVID and post-COVID conditions. So there are systems available to manage this condition.
Very good. It's good to know because I think a lot of people do want to know that what are the Ayurvedic treatments that are out there. And I know one more question before I hand it over to the doctor. So you're an expert and you're in authentic Ayurvedic methods of diagnosis, especially pulse diagnosis and treatment that successfully treats lifestyle disorders. Please tell us a little bit about this and why this pulse diagnosis.
See, pulse diagnosis is a very unique and very specialized method of diagnosis. Understanding the human body's state of affair, especially the balance within the dosha and the tissues, through touching and feeling the radial pulse of a person. So we know this has come into practice in medieval period in India. The classical texts of Ayurveda, you don't see this diagnostic tool at all, like the Susruta, Charaga, or Vagpada. Whereas in the medieval texts, especially regional texts in the southern India, this Nadi Shastram has come into great importance. So Nadi, Mutram, Malan, Jihva, Shabdam, Sparsham, Dirga, Agra, these are the 8 methods of diagnosis. Nadi is the one of the thing which actually needs lot of special training. This actually is taught in not in the classroom, but by the guru to the student in a physical situation where one has to understand by feeling pulse after pulse. My guru, when he taught me the pulse, he told that everyone comes to you, please start your interaction with that person by touching his nadi. So after some time, nadi first give you the minimum information you can get by nadi pariksha is knowing the dosha situation in the body. There are 3 doshas, vada, pitta, and kapha, that are the most important tool for Ayurvedic physician to diagnosis. So nadi gives you the status of vada, pitta, and kapha through the 3 fingers we keep on the radial pulse. So one finger with 1 unit of force, the second finger with a half unit of force, the third finger with the 1/4 unit of force. This has to be subjectively felt. It cannot be explained, but I am giving an idea of what pulse diagnosis is. This is the first level of pulse diagnosis, where you understand which dosha is vitiated in the body in the given point of time. Second level of Nadi Pariksha is the which tissues. There are 7 tissues in the body, including the plasma, blood, muscle, bone marrow, reproductive elements, and fat. These are the 7 tissues. How these tissues are affected also can be known by the Nadi Pariksha. There are experts who can even go to the level of organs where the dosha has been So there are 3-4 levels of Nadi Pariksha. Many people know at the dosha level, some people know beyond dosha level to the Usha level or the tissue level, some people know up to the organ level. There are many anecdotal stories about people knowing even beyond that. That is not my area of expertise, but I know this much textually possible for Nadi Pariksha. So Nadi Pariksha is a new method of diagnosis came to Ayurveda in its growth of evolutionary phase in the medieval period. And there are very few people who are experts in Nadi Pariksha. I never claim that I am an expert, but in my experience, people started putting me in task, but I do Nadi Pariksha. That is one important tool I use whenever I have got a doubt in my diagnosis. This Nadi is the last word I use it for my diagnosis.
Now, sir, I know everybody is dying to understand what the topic that we're talking about today. How do we transform our everyday life and get, what can we do? What are those simple things that all of us can do to move to better health and happiness?
See, everything I have told in my book, I would love you to read that book, how the Dinajatya and Ritujatya, there are two components in lifestyle correction for a healthy life. Dinajatya is nothing but daily routines. Ritujatya is nothing but seasonal routines. And the third one in that line is how you mentally keep yourself. So all the three comes together, the health is being guaranteed. The Ayurveda says that a human being comes to the earth with a guaranteed lifespan of 100 years. Sadam Jivama Sarada, that is the blessing that is given in the Veda to the people. We let us all live 100 years. To live that, they are given some measures. That is the Dinajatya, how to get up in the morning, how to take your food, how to take your rest, what are the exercises to be done, and how to complete your day, and how to start your night, and how much time to sleep. These are all the tips that I don't want to explain here, but these are the tips which will keep you healthy. And what kind of food, Shadrasam, Madhura Prayam, take the food, full taste spectrum has to be come to your plate. This kind of advice are given from the point of view of Dinajatya. Ritujatya is that in the year 365 days, depending upon the place of your, the habitat where you are staying, the Ritu changes. So hot, summer comes, winter comes, rainy season comes, autumn comes. So these changes actually has got an effect in your body. So how your body can accommodate the changing climatic changes. That also is another area of Ayurveda expertise. So if you are able to accommodate this too, then there will be no accumulation of toxins in the body. The third one is, even if you are physically you are able to maintain this, if your mind is not in tune with the universal thing, then it can also cause this. Mind is the starting point of any disease, they say that. So mind equilibrium is one of the things that also is being advised, Sadvritam. Sadvritam is something to be kept with the Yama and Niyama, which is told in Yoga Shastra. Same Ayurveda also advises. So there are three prongs, that Aharam, Swapnam, Abrahmajatyam. Aharam means the right kind of food. Swapnam means the right kind of sleep, right time of sleep, and right method of sleep. And Abrahmajatyam is the lifestyle changes, including your conjugal life and how to lead a healthy life as a family person. So these three aspects are explained in Ayurveda. These are three pillars of health in Ayurveda. Also, there is a component called genetics. So Ayurveda also gives important that it says that even before the child is born, there is a science called eugenics. That is the preparation of that child through the health of the mother, father, and the time of conception. So if the mother's elements are not in a healthy situation, the father's elements are not healthy, that also can cause some kind of diseases in the long time of the lifespan. So how to correct this also is being told. This is not under our control, but we can, through Ayurvedic regime, can even make these genetic things not to express and get into a disease condition if you are able to go through Dinajatya, Ritujatya, Rasayana Prayoga, and Swasthavrita, all spectrum of Swasthavrita, including Sadvrita, how to psychological well-being of the human being. And we consider, Ayurveda considers human being as a social animal, not a single unit. And Ayurveda always connects the microcosm, the human being, with the macrocosm, the universal consciousness. So everything that we do should be in tune with your external environment. You cannot have a healthy life when your external environment is polluted. So we give importance to water, land, air, and atmosphere also. So these are the main areas of concern in Ayurveda when you think about a perfect, holistic, healthy life.
So, sir, we're already getting some questions, and you've tickled our interest, of course, in two areas. One is, of course, about sleep. So, please do tell us more. What is the right kind of sleep, and what does Ayurveda recommend? And, of course, more about diet. Everybody always wants to know what is this Ayurvedic diet that we should be following?
I'll tell about first thing about sleep. Sleep is one of the most important healer in your daily life. Sleep is the time when body tissues are given time to heal itself, repair itself, and rejuvenate itself. So we say that early to bed, early to wake up. That is the principle of Ayurveda. And it says that Brahme Muhurte Uttishtha Swasto Rakshartham Ayusha. If you are interested in keeping our life longevity, please try to get up Brahma Muhurtam. Brahma Muhurtam nothing but 30 to 50 minutes before the sunrise. But at the same time, it says that don't get up in the Brahma Muhurta just because you have to get up. Make sure that you got enough sleep before that. So you have to go early to the bed and make sure that the earlier day ingested food is fully digested. So in case if you are getting up and you get a heavy head and heavy stomach and sleepy feeling, it is not at all a healthy sleep at all. And we say that there are three stages of sleep, three wakefulness. That is a
Sir,
Swapna.
before you go forward, I'm going to ask you that question. So, when we eat, how long does it take for that ingestion of food? So, when now you've tickled that when should our last meal be before we go to sleep, and what time should we go to sleep?
Yeah. Preferably, night food should be according to the light, so that it can digest within 2 to 3 hours time. By the time you go to sleep, if you are, for example, the yogic way of living is eat the last meal before sunlight, even sun setting. So that may not be practically possible these days. But if you are having a healthy intention, then try to eat your dinner before 8, between 7 and 8, so that you get 2 hours of clear gap between your sleep and your dinner. Dinner should be light, easily digesting, and you should get 8 hours sleep. It is ideal to get 9 hours sleep, but many of time you don't get. But 8 hours deep sleep without dreams, rapid eye movement sleep, they say in modern science. If you get a good sleep without any dreams and it's a sushupti, you will get up will jump out of the bed. There are 15 signs and symptoms told in Ayurveda to find out whether you are healthy or not. And that one is how you are getting up from the bed. And they say that you should jump out of the bed in the morning, then you are healthy. So tad lakshanam panchadasha pragara, the 15 are the symptoms. Ahara kamsha, desire for food. Sadanam vibhaga, without any difficulty digestion. Purisha, mutra, anila sashtadacha, early evacuation and easy evacuation of feces, urine and gases from the body. Tadendriyartha grihane shakti, all the 5 sense organs, your eyes, your nose, your tongue, your skin, and our ears should be functioning optimally. Manasukhattam, you should have peace of mind. Balavarnalava, you should have enough strength, and your texture should be healthy, your face should glow. Swapna sukhena, you should go to sleep. Actually, you should sleep and go to bed. That's how we say. You should not be waiting for sleep in the bed. A healthy person will sleep first, then go to the bed. That much should be ready. Your body should be ready for that. And Swapna sukhena, pradibodhanamcha, if you are getting up early morning without any effort, then these 15 are the symptoms. Without going to any lab, you can say that you are healthy or not. These are signs given by. For that, food, deeds, and sleep are very important. So 8 hours of minimum sleep, 9 hours ideally if you can, and go to bed early and get up early in the morning is the ideal way of sleep. And we say that sleeping also should not be bending your knees and sleep. Keep the body straight. You can sleep to the right, left, back, or anything, but keep the body in a straight so that energy passage is easy. Many times we tend to bend our limbs and sleep. That will give on a continuous thing will give many kind of joint problems. So we give always try to sleep straight, sleep in straight way, and get up in the morning. And night food should be ideally between 7 and 8. And food also, when you ask me, we don't divide the food into protein, carbohydrate, and vitamins and minerals. And it's all important. That all become part of a diet if you are eating all the food with 6 tastes. So Shadrasam Madhuraprayam. We divide, we gauge, or we measure the food according to the taste. So all the cereals and pulses and grains are Madhurasam. So we say Shadrasam, your food should be Madhurasa Pradhanam. Majority, bulk of your food should be of a sweet taste. That's why in all diets of any indigenous community, including India or ethnic communities, grains and pulses are the main bulk of the food. Then comes the fruits, then come the vegetables, then come the spices. So all the shadrasas, what are the shadrasas? Madhuram, Amlam, Lavanam, Tiktam, Ushanam, Kashayaka. So this sweet taste, tamarind, that is sour taste, salty taste, pungent taste, spices, and the 6 pungent taste are the tastes which are there in different food. And we have made actually a very good calendar, a seasonal calendar, which fruit should be used in which condition. Second important thing food Ayurveda promote is that yasya deshastu yojandu tasya saddaushadam. You eat locally. If you're selecting your food locally, that will be the most appropriate food for you. It will be more genetically feasible, ecologically feasible. So eat locally and eat with shadrasam and eat half to your stomach. Don't take full stomach. We say the solid food should fill your half the stomach. 1/4 should be filled by liquids, and 1/4 of stomach should be left for proper gaseous exchange. And if you do like this, your digestion, your metabolism, everything will be normal.
Very
I'm
good.
just giving you tips only because in the given time I shouldn't give all the details, but I can give you a direction.
Absolutely. Sir, you also had some slides. Do you want to share those?
And that I can give in the end. Some of you indicated that people may be interested to get some tips on skin, hair,
Yes.
condition like diabetes, preventive. That
Yes.
will be take away from because.
So I
Listening
think
to
the
me,
two diseases, of course, diabetes, thyroid. We would love to get your tips there, and of course, skin and hair.
yeah, I have made some PPTs for hair, diabetes, other conditions. Thyroid is a little complication because of its hormonal background. So it has to be separately dealt with. Other areas I have given slides. I'll get into it. Can you share the screen now if you're ready?
Sure. And there are lots of questions also coming in about
Yes.
weight and anxiety.
I am just giving you simple tips. I have been writing for my own health magazine before some 15 years. And each time I used to give tips to the readers. And I have taken from that some of the thing and I put it in. And I think you should give this to the people who want to take it because they may not be able to read it in the given time. So you can, there is no IPR on this. Anyone can use it and it's very useful also. So these are some of the tips I am giving you, especially for skin care. Not only women, even men are very keen to see that their skins are glowing and skin is shining and texture is good. We don't use the word fair now these days, but we should have a good skin, which is attractive and healthy. And skin is one of the signature of good health. If your skin is glowing and healthy and it shows that there your metabolism is good. And there are something to correct the external epidemics, epidermis of the skin by applying some. There are many internal medicine decoctions, etc., to be used internally when there is a blood impurity. But generally speaking, these are the things which can correct small aberrations of the skin, and it can give smoothness, oiliness, and good texture. So this is the thing, and there is a preparation. I hope you are reading it. I am not reading it because it is in the screen. So in this one preparation is Kungumaya Thailam. Kungumaya Thailam is very famous, very popular in Ayurveda preparation. Most of the good Ayurveda pharmacies in the south make it. The main ingredient in this saffron. Saffron is very expensive. It is a very rare medicinal plant grown only in areas of Kashmir valleys. And this saffron is from time immemorial on our culture, in Arabian culture, in many cultures we can see the use of saffron. Saffron is internally used for many, even as an aphrodisiac and skin texture improver. But external application of skin is very useful. So this Kungumaya Thailam, those who are not able to make preparations at home, you can just go to some good pharmacy and get this Kungumaya Thailam and apply and rub gently on the face in small quantity and leave it for 1 or 2 hours for better penetration. Ayurvedic people don't even rub it off, let the body absorb it. So give a slight coating, so it will work like a sunscreen on your face. You can apply it and take it next time when you wash your face. There are very good preparation like pure sandalwood made paste. We normally make it with unboiled milk. Make a mention, apply on the dark skin. It improves on that skin texture and skin color. Lodra is a very important plant which are very common in India, where it is a big tree. And this also we use as the powder. Normally what you have to do is to make it the penetration better, make a paste of it on a stone with the milk, like we make chandan to apply on our head. To do that is good. And red sandalwood, which are very easily available than the white sandalwood, this also is used, especially with the blemishes. This red sandalwood is very good. So more than that, I have given 3 important things in the second para. Abhyanga, that is oil massage. Vyayama, that is exercise. Udvartana is a powder massage in the opposite direction from foot to head, opposite direction. These are the 2 things which also will increase the skin tone and also increase the blood circulation to the cutaneous skin, and also improve the nerve conductivity and make the skin very glow. It improves the whole balance of the skin. This is 3 if you are able to do. And it is the thing that is told in Ayurveda to be done every day. The earlier team of people who are able to have that kind of time used to do this Abhyanga every day. These days, people are running around, they don't have time. So I tell them you do at least once in a week, then see the changes. And you can see the people who are doing regular Abhyanga, their skin will never get into wrinkle stage. These are black spots, these are wrinkles, pimples. These are the certain conditions we commonly seen in people, and people are looking for remedies. These are simple home remedies which can generally help in. Application has to be at least 7 to 14 days, some cases 41 days, like that. You have to be patient. Don't think that one day you apply it will happen. Now, one of the most important thing or difference between Ayurveda and modern cosmetics is that Ayurveda does not have cosmetics. Ayurveda has got cosmeceuticals, because cosmetic is the one which makes temporary change in the skin. It is not penetrating. It is not working on the physiology of the skin. Once you remove your makeup, the skin becomes the old as bad or as good as before. Whereas Ayurvedic cosmetics, which are cosmeceuticals, make permanent changes in the skin physiology and bring back its lost glory. That's a big difference. And it has to work in the body. You have to continuously use for 7, 14, 21 kind of days, whatever is told. And depending upon it, sometimes you may have to have the help of a good physician to decide upon which one you need to use it. And the third one is important area of many people have this cracked foot. Cracked foot is a big issue, especially women who don't want to show their feet to others. If you do this practice, the cracked feet will come down. It's one of the reasons for one of the vitiation of Vata in the body, and you apply this one. Those who are not able to do the A, B, C in this, they can go to the area of D, medicine. Jivandyadi Hamaha, it is a very beautiful, very useful preparation readily available in the market. And wash your feet with light salt and turmeric water warm and dry it well. After that, apply it, put a old socks and sleep with that. Next day only remove it. So if you do it, your cracked feet will disappear like anything.
Sir, go back to the last one, constipation.
I think constipation, acha, I changed it.
Oh, okay, maybe it was the next one.
Indigestion?
Yes.
No, I am indigestion, I'll cover.
Yes, please do.
Indigestion, then next one is constipation. Indigestion is a very common issue, especially people who are eating high protein food, high fatty food, high oily food, without having enough capacity to digest, they get into the indigestion. It's a common issue, especially in the affluent community. People who don't have enough to eat may not have this problem, but people who have more to eat and eat very regularly and irregularly get this kind of indigestion. We say that those who eat 2 times a day is a yogi, who eats 3 times a day is a bhogi, who eats 4 times or more is a rogi. So many of us are
sir, I
yogis.
will ask this question. What about this small meal plan diet that's very much in, which is telling you to eat 6 times a day?
That small quantity, yes, that is good for especially elderly people and very infant. These 2 age group, this is good. And people with the diabetic background. So eat small quantity different times. Otherwise, if you have, actually I would say that for a healthy person, the next food should be eaten when the previous food is completely digested by the body. There is no residues in the stomach or intestine lying back. So we say 4 hours gap is minimum needed between 2 meals. And if there are more, and especially for people with Kabha Prakriti, who are stout and obese and less digestive capacity in that times, it is better to have 6 hours time between the meals. I don't go to that detail, but it's better to have 4 hours of gap between each meal. So these are the simple household remedies you can make at home and use it. And you know, in our traditional recipe, hing is a very common ingredient. We all our grandma, mothers know how to use it. So a South Indian cannot have a sambar without hing, a rasam without hing, and many preparations have hing. The reason for hing, it does not have much nutritional value, but it has got a very good value of increasing your digestive process. It takes away all the residues of the digestive process into culmination by acting on that. And ginger, mint juice, lemon juice, all these things can be used in mild, moderate, and severe conditions accordingly. That you have to use it. So I am not going to the details. You can go through it. All those things are available at home and you can make it very easily. And in case, as a last resort, if you are not interested to make at home, there's simple preparation available in the market called Ingoshthaga or Ashtachurna. It's a combination of, it's very good combination of 8 spices, which is roasted in ghee and made into powder. Very tasty, not very tasty, but very enjoyable powder that you can just, when you sit for your food, take 1 spoon of that, mix with warm water and take it. Your digestion will be very good. And if you've got gaseous problem after that, take 1 teaspoon, keep it on your table. In earlier times, all dining table used to have Ashtachurna at home on the table. Just take a half teaspoon and you enjoy it also. It's like a mint after the food. You can take it. These are simple digestive thing. And next thing is constipation. Many of the people are suffering, especially elderly people after 60, when the Vata predominates your lifestyle, life stage, then constipation is there. I think there are many vegetables. All vegetables are good in constipation, except root vegetables like potato, which does not have fiber. And lot of vegetables which are having high fiber, especially the leafy vegetables, red spinach and fenugreek. I mean this moringa, that is drumstick leaves, And banana stem, people do not use these days. Banana stem is a wonderful vegetable. People don't use it these days. We don't know how to cook it also. Tasty, nutritious, and high fibrous diet, especially good for diabetic people or people with joint pain. All these things should be used. And one of the most misunderstood or not well understood or distorted food item in Indian cookery is ghee. Ghee is the best friend of any human being. Ghee should be used by universally by people, especially homemade ghee, not the ghee which you get from the market, which is made from the cream. Ghee is traditionally made by boiling the milk, converting it into the curd, churning it to the butter. From butter, it is heated and made ghee. That ghee is a fermented product. If you take every day 1 spoon in the morning, it is very good for your constipation, for your digestion, for your nutritional needs like protein. And we all advise that for a general people which does not have any problem, but to prevent this kind of thing, and it guarantees very good health. And castor oil, it is very common in Tamil Nadu, especially Tamil Nadu is a Vadiga place. People use castor oil with 1 spoon of milk in the night, which also eases your constipation. And we also use the Elaki banana. It's very good banana, 2 to 3. Mix it with little jaggery. Jaggery is a very good laxative. People do not know. So you take your coffee or tea with the jaggery rather than sugar. It also eases constipation. If you take little more jaggery in your diet, you'll get a good bowel movement and in combination. There are, in case if you're all very lazy about making all these things, go to the last one, Tribaladi Churna, which is available plenty in the market, which has got Tribala plus little Estimadu, and it is 1 spoon of that guarantees you 1 to 2 spoons, give you a good bowel in the next day. So like that, I am just trying to give you small tips which will be useful. And diabetes has become a very common issue, especially India has become diabetic capital because of our wrong food habits. Especially you have forgotten our traditional diet. We are completely moved to fiberless food, and we use lot of items which is directly switch over to your sugar in the system. So you avoid that kind of carbohydrates in your thing. Use more raw with fruits, vegetables, and whole cereals. Especially the millets that we have been using in Karnataka is one of the best things. People say that many people even advocates against millets, but I strongly advocate millets the one choice for people with diabetes without refining it. The raw millets cooked in the ragi mudde, ragi dosa, ragi puttu, ragi upma, ragi ganji kind of thing. And other cereals and millets are very good. And there are small things which I am not telling, please don't mistake me for replacing a physician for that. Diabetic is a major condition. These are all tips to prevent and to control diabetes in a sugar level in a very basic level. It is always better to consult a doctor and follow all these advices because diabetes should not shoot up. You should maintain your HbA1c 3 months average always below 7. And you should also consume only if it is above 6 to 7 when you check it in your health check. Otherwise, no need to use all these things. And making your body to suffer just because of your worried about sugar also is not good. So you should have a balanced understanding. Don't blindly follow any of the advices just like that. Always make it contextualize, then only use it. One of the plant which I called as a wonderful plant of India is Guduji. Guduji is Tinospora cordifolia.
So people are asking, sir, what is Gaduchi?
I have told you Tinospora cordifolia, Amradavalli in Kannada, Amrada in Tamil, Sittamrada and the Shindil Kodi in Tamil, and Guduji in English, Goodwell in Hindi. And just you put Guduji into your Google search, you'll get all the photos and everything of Guduji. It is a very well-known plant, highly studied plant. It's one of the best antioxidant and rejuvenator. It is very good for conditions like diabetes. But normally we use it as powder, as a decoction. But I advise you to take it a few fresh stems of Guduji plant, which is a creeper. In my hospital, the whole front 50 feet is covered by Guduji plant very beautifully. It is a very good garden plant also. and it grows without any effort. It is a wild plant. It does not need any care. And Guduji is one of the great contribution of Ayurveda to the health. So that Guduji plant cut into small pieces of 1 or 2 inches long, crush it, put it in boiling water in the night, 1 glass. Don't boil it, boiling water, put it and keep it close. Morning, you squeeze, remove and throw away the stem, drink that water, which is very bitter. If you want, you can add 1 spoon of honey to make it little tasty. And if you do it, then it is a very good immunity enhancer. It is an immunomodulator. And in COVID time, this is one of the best remedy I can recommend to anyone. And all of you, even people who are staying in a flat, they can grow it in simple pots. Until grow within 3 to 6 months, you get a big plant. And it grows very nice. And if you've got male and female plant, it gives some very good flower also once in a while. So Guduji is one of the plant I will always recommend, and this can do. But all these things should be taken whenever you take any medicine for sugar. You should check your fasting blood sugar regularly. Make sure that it is below 120. Other symptoms are okay, but this you make sure. These are simple tips we can do at home. I don't want to go to the details. This is also a condition people get into because of their wrong kind of food intake. Hyperacidity. Hyperacidity is actually not a disease. It is a reaction of the body to the kind of food you are taking. Especially if you are a hyperactive person, like a pitta prakriti person, eating all kinds of junk food with a lot of spices and food processing agents. See, one of the biggest sins we are committing is eating the processed food. See, we get the food. Indian villages are safe today to some extent, but Indian cities are becoming the replica of US cities, where 90% of the food come from the junk, come from the processed food, come from the packaged food. These are got so many kinds of kinds of chemical and synthetic ingredients, coloring agents, conditioning agents, preservatives, and things to keep it more soft and softeners. So many chemicals are which are not even recognized by our bodies, especially by our gut microbiome. So it reacts. So acidity is one way of getting to it. So you should correct your food, then take this kind of fruits and juices, which will help you to reduce your thing. And even this ghee in boiled jeeraga water can be very good drink for hyperacidity people.
Sir, lots of questions are coming in about when to take fruits. So
fruits,
so I'm just reminding you, you must tell us, because everybody wants to know when is the best time to take fruits.
There are many theory behind that, but Ayurveda, we say that take the fruits either in the morning or evening after food, not in the night. Fruits are not generally advised in the night because it can increase the phlegm in the body and people get kind of sinus and kind of throat irritation and other things. It will not be get completely digested. So for fruits, according to Indian tradition, is after the meal and generally within a gap of 5 to 6 minutes. The reason is that by the time other food will be settled and we drink some quantity of water after our meal, then take the fruit that will be best digested. And don't never think about taking fruits alone as a one food item. You should always have some cereals or pulses. There are many people who think that it can do a long time. Your tissues will not be fully formed if you take only fruits. Fruits are excellent for a temporary time, but not as for a regular diet. Should take fruits, but not only fruits. So the best time is after meals, in the daytime, and especially mornings and evening, and even after lunch also. Good fruits.
Oh, another question, sir. Then what about juices? Should you have juices with your meals or no? Should that also be after the meal?
No, after meal is the juice time, after meals, because it has to be, that is the food, whenever you take food, it should get digested. The juices are the least bothering about digestion. So you can take at the end, it will get digested and it will get assimilated also. And juice is need not take every meal. Once in a day, juice is sufficient, either in the morning or in the morning is the best time for juices.
Sir, one more question before we move forward. Mango season, and a lot of people eat mangoes with the meal itself. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, mango is to be taken with meals after meals. There is no harm at all. Why people are confusing? And mangoes, see, any seasonal fruits is the best of fruit of the time. We say that all the fruits, whenever you get in season, you eat it. Don't eat unseasonal food on a time. Even though you may, because of our artificial creation, you may be available, you may get mango in a different season. Eat mango in some season after food and make good diet with mango. We make many curries with ripened mangoes also, very beautiful curries. So it should be taken after food. Let me just finish this hair growth, otherwise it will be a loss to you, many of them. Only 2-3 slides more.
Sir,
This
there are
hair growth,
lots of questions also, so I would request you if you could stay a little longer also.
oh, these are the things I want to give you.
Yeah, no, but definitely do the hair before we...
That's when I'll go. I'll go. You want me to go everything or?
I think especially the hair, lots of questions about hair have come up.
Yeah, I think this time is not enough for all those things. What is our timeline?
So we have till 7 o'clock, but I would ask you if you could take another 5 or 10 minutes of your time because there are lots of questions. So if we could do hair growth and obesity, and then we'll take
Hair growth is
questions.
very important area. No, hair is see, one of the enemies of hair is many kind of these shampoos in the market, especially shampoos which make your hair very dry are not good. So please look for if they have got any kind of detergents in the shampoo, long-term use of it will cause problem, damage to hair. So make sure that, and minimum you try to use, I don't say don't use any shampoos or anything, but be careful when you use it. Make sure that you have things which will encourage the unctuousness of the scalp and also make the skin tight on the scalp. These are the two issues that we do. So this kind of advices which I am giving are helpful to increase the blood circulation to the scalp and also make the scalp very, smooth and cold enough to, anything that will be non-hot will be good for hair growth. So amla fruit rind, even you can use the dry amla. Amla is gooseberry, many of you know, it's very commonly available all over the country. And we can, you can use it as hair pack and you can put it in the water overnight, make a paste and make it hair pack, and before bath you can up. It helps, not only helps in hair growth, it also helps in good sleep. And people with mental problems, one of the preparation we use is applying the fresh paste of amla on the head. So this is very good for hair growth. And it is not just vitamin C. People say that amla means vitamins. Vitamin C is one of the aspects. It's highly pittahara. It increases the blood circulation. It increases the vitality of the thing. It is one of the very good rejuvenative agent. So if you end the season around 8 months in a year, you get amla in the market. And very simple, just remove the seeds and put it in the mixer. You get a very good juice. And if you are little bit good diet kind of a cook, you can add little lemon, little honey, little pepper, lavang or something to make it very, and people will ask for that and drink it. And 1 glass of it in the evenings are very good for hair growth. And also it prevents early graying if you consume amla every day, amla juice. Same is the case with fenugreek. You can apply it on hair scalp and wash it. And Bringaraja oil, people who are not able to do all these things, buy a good preparation of Bringaraja. There is Kayunyadi Thailam, Bringaraja Thailam, etc. available in the market. Bringaraja is nothing but the Eclipta alba available in the plant, very greenish and very highly dye-oriented plant, which also helps in blackening of the hair. That we can as a hair oil before bath, but don't use shampoo after that. Keep some green gram powder paste or something to remove the oil. So some oil should remain on the scalp. And hibiscus leaves and flower, especially leaves and red flower, are very good as a shampoo. When you use this thing, if you take little bit of homework before bath, just put a few leaves and flower in the mix, you'll get a very good foamy paste. Take it in a bowl and go to the bathroom and wash your hair with that. And give a strong shower, then you will get a very good glowing and a very independent hair without tangling, and it is very good for hair. Actually, weekly twice you can apply that. When you have got a cold or anything, or nasal block or congestion, don't use this one. Otherwise, you can use it. And especially if you have got a background of or history of dandruff, neem leaf paste with curd is a very good combination. Neem leaves are plenty available. That also try to use the fresh leaves, make a paste in the mixie or something, and mix with and apply on the scalp and wash it after. This is very good for dandruff. And also you can use snake gourd. Snake gourd is very plenty available in the market. Snake gourd is a very mild dandruff condition, but neem is best. And green gram paste is always good to as a hair mask, not an hair mask. Also as a remover of oil from the from the hair. Obesity is one of the biggest problem. No, like we say, two problems of Americans are how to reduce and where to park.
Those are our problems too now, sir.
This used to be some 20 years back. Now it has become of Bangalore also, how to reduce and where to park. So reduction of body weight is actually it's an art and science. So there are many things in the diet which I'm not going to the detail. Diet plays a very important role, and also kind of exercise we do. And plus these are the food I will suggest them. Horse gram is a forgotten pulse. No, we don't use it. This horse gram is kulathi. It is used highly in winter season in cold places. It is a very good fat buster. So these are the green gram soups, millets, barley, water with honey, whey with little honey. Whey is when you make curd, you get a water above the curd. That water is very good for obesity. And there are preparation in the market like Varanasavam, Ayaskriti. These are to be used by a doctor's advice, but these are all available. And there is a very good method in Ayurveda by use of Udvartanam. It's a powder and paste massage in the opposite direction. And there are centers which are doing it. It's very good to break down your fat molecule, especially belly and the buttocks. These are the two areas fat accumulates. Belly for men, buttocks for the women. That's how normally these areas are to, and you have to do other exercises with this massage. And yoga and pranayama can play a big role if you are properly practicing it. This is especially women in the reproductive cycle stage. These are the issues which in my practice I use this and then another 101, etc. to make the muscle relax that area. Internally, this kind of medicine, not medicine, these are all food supplements which can be used by women who are suffering from this condition. However, if there is any other etiological factors like hemoglobin lack of hemoglobin, chronic infections, etc., has to be ruled out. So don't think that it's a carpet kind of firing. So you have to be selective. And joint pain is especially people above 45 when the bones start degenerating. And people with obesity, with more weight, they suffer joint pain. If there is no rheumatoid arthritis history, these are simple things we can follow. And these are some of the methods we use it. All this can be practiced at home without any thing. I don't want that. Old age care is actually a 3-year course we do in Ayurveda. So I don't want to do it in 3 minutes. But these are some of the tips which we use in old age care. And Charaka has mentioned that this naturally occurring disease, these are the naturally occurring disease. Jara is a natural disease. And it's treated with rasayanas like ashwagandha, amalagi, Mikuna, that's Atmagupta, Brahmi, Shatavari, Shatavari, Shilajit, Vidarikanda, etc. And which are having anti-anxiety effect like Manduka Parni, Yashtimadu, Jadamamsi. So there are many preparations. I am just giving you the hint. My intention is to create kind of interest and hope for you to get into this area. This is also a problem, many people, other constipation. This in olden time, no, we never go to a doctor for loose stools. And our grandmothers, mothers in the home know how to tackle it. And it can be tackled by many methods. Some of the methods I have given you, and depending upon if the digestion is stool-to indigestion, lack of low metabolism. If it's got a very high infection, we have to see infectious route. Otherwise, if it's a simple thing without any running temperature and without any blood in the stool, no mucus, it is just loose stool like diarrhea, then this can be tried. And this is, I think that people should use it. Above 60, you get into electrolyte imbalance also very quickly, and you get fatigue very quickly. These are the simple things. And Laja is a less understood item in the kitchen of our people. It's a puffed rice, bhakta taralu. We use it in our pujas and karmas and other things. For elderly people, this is a wonderful drink. If you can give them, take one handful of it, boil in water, put little cardamom, put little honey. It's a very tasty drink, and you can throughout the day you can drink. Especially people with fatigue and loose stool, this is a very good remedy, along with many other things. I am just running through it due to lack of time. And stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy. That's my message.
Sir, we have lots of questions. Can we have you for 10 minutes more?
Yeah, please.
So, sir, the first question a lot of people are asking is, and I will just, because many people have asked this, how do you actually get genuine products?
See, one of the problems anyone is that I go by brand. Because we don't know, I don't say, when I say some names of institution which are there for last 75 years, 100 years, I believe them. So like Ayurveda Shala of Kottakkal, Ayurveda Pharmacy of Coimbatore, Nagarjuna Vaidyaratnam, Dudh Paveshwar of Bombay or Vaidyanath, or some products of Dabur, Himalaya. These companies are reputed. Their products are known for their quality. There are other companies also. So Ayurveda products, I cannot say blanket thing that you go to this, but these companies generally I found I use them extensively. But it's always better to go to a good physician whom you respect and believe and have faith in. Get his or her advice and go to products. Don't buy anything from the market by seeing an advertisement.
Sir, can you actually increase your height? Any tips for height increase?
Height can be increased to a certain extent from the age of 12 to 19, not after that. So there are many things which need a physician's advice, but we have some exercises, some diet, and some methods which will help to improve the weight. But it is, for example, one of the, any stretch exercise if you can do that, for what it does is it tells the body that I want to grow. That's what it does, these exercises. You are giving kind of push to the body to grow. So you are not genetically engineered to have a certain height. You may not achieve that much, but there will be improvement. There are some diets also which will increase, which is good for bone growth and tissue growth, which reaches directly to the bone. And also diet. And we talk about Danda Biotech and tissue biotech for that growth. This can be done before 19. After that, it will be very, very difficult.
Preeta, go ahead. Please ask your question.
Yeah, thanks, Supriti. Thank you, Mr. Gangadharan. It was extremely enlightening. But of course, like Supriti said, we have a lot of questions. I wanted to ask one of the questions is that, one is about this morning routine, which Ayurveda suggests. Is it, that lime water or having a fruit in the morning? or anything particular that Ayurveda would suggest is one. Second thing is it good to take a kind of a laxative which cleanses the stomach every once in a while? Is Ayurveda has some,
Yeah,
I heard,
cleansing once in a, sorry, finish, please.
so
Finish.
I heard basically someone mentioning that Ayurveda has some thing which is good because it flushes out the toxins and things like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would recommend like that?
Yeah, I don't say you do it yourself every time, but once or twice minimum in a year or 3 times in a year, we do cleansing of the system. It's a kind of detoxification which used to do. So we say that Shirodham, Dosham, there are 6 ridus and three groups in that ridus. Each ridu, each season changes, body has to accommodate the next ridu. That time we do a kind of detoxification. Simple thing what we can do in early time is childhood is to take 1 or 2 teaspoons of good purified castor oil with a cup of milk in the morning. Then you get a good, with put half teaspoon to 1 spoon of ginger juice, then you get a very good purgation. But this should not be done. People who are Vata Prakriti, very lean, and people who are Pitta Prakriti, very hot and very tempered people with less musculature and less fatty body, they need to take only once in a year. But Kapha Prakriti people who are stout and hectic, they can take 3 times or 4 times a year. This thing, depending upon, it's not for everyone same thing. This also actually to be done by under the advice of a good physician. Don't do it yourself. Simple. If you got a chronic constipation kind of thing, you want to purgative, do this which I have taught in my slides. You can do it. A proper kind of purgation is something different. You get a drastic purgation 8 to 10 times and make you tired. We do it as systematic classes, Negabanam and Virejanam. That is the one which is classically advised. Otherwise, you can take Tribala or Ayurvedic once in a while to get a 1 or 2 loose motion. It is not exactly cleansing, but it is gives you some kind of relief.
Sir, and the morning routine. I think a lot of people are wanting to know, what does Ayurveda recommend as the morning routine?
Morning routines, get up early morning and have some nice, first thing what you do, evacuate yourself. Ramaiah Muhurte Uttishta Swasthorashtat. First thing is cleansing your bowel, cleaning your mouth and teeth and face, wash your face, and drink something warm and not 3-4 liters. People drink 2 liters. It is not at all advisable to clean your system. 1 or 2 cups and go for a walk. Then have your breakfast. Breakfast, we ideally say that 8 to 9 is the time. Now, before that, if you can do half an hour to 1 hour, any kind of exercise, that will be very good. Then that body will be ready for the day if you do that. Our circulation will be apt and your digestion will be good. And this morning routine is actually 5:30 to 5:30 is the right time to start your day. If you are sleeping little early by 9:30 and 10 o'clock, then you should get up. Never get up early morning by going to sleep at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. You'll be doing a mistake. You need sleep. So whenever you get up early morning, make sure that you go to early bed and have a nice and the morning breakfast would be always lighter than the lunch and with a lot of soft items and easily and with the mother rasa pradhanam, which sweet taste will be there in the morning. And people have a mistaken idea about tea and coffee. Any of these things, even though it is not that thing, 1 or 2 cups of this thing will do no harm according to us. And taking warm water with lemon with honey is very good for people who are obese. People who are lean and very low musculature need not take lemon at all in the morning. Instead of that, they should take tea in the morning.
No, I'm saying lots of questions. So we'll take the next one from Anushka. Go ahead.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, I'm 24 years of age and my weight is 93 kgs. Sir, I'm growing many facial hair and stomach hair. Sir, how can I control my weight? And can you suggest something for my facial hair?
First, you rule out your thyroid and PCOD. These are the 2 things of concern when you get this kind of thing. Rule out that, then only we can think about it. Facial hair removal is not an issue by external means, but it should not come. So you should rule out your PCOD or PCOD. Are you married or?
No, sir. Bachelor, sir.
Check your PCOD and check your thyroid, please. It needs a consultation.
Thank you, sir.
Next question we'll take from Rumi. Rumi, go ahead.
No question, ma'am. Nothing.
No
Just
question.
enjoy.
Okay. So I thought you had a question. So, and another question from Annie. Annie has asked, do you recommend taking whey protein for the height for growth for teenagers? So, sir, this whey protein, that's very, very popular right now for growth of height.
Maybe that is not an area of Ayurvedic concern, but whey we use, which is made out of milk, fermented milk, we make whey. That is being used for many conditions, appetizer and as a whey protein. I have not done research on that and I have no opinion on that.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Doctor, hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Doctor Sir?
Yes.
Doctor Sir, when the pit is aggravated, what happens is that this is Delhi and it's the month of June, and I suddenly, for a week, I thought my temper rose up like anything. I thought that I'd become dangerous to people around me. So much anger. So I'm a great fan and follower of Ayurveda, so I know, and also I'm a pit kapha prakriti. So
Yes.
I know that this is pit aggravation. Can you please tell me what should I eat? I mean, Brahmi or something. There must be some medicine, doctor, because it's sometimes things go out of hand and one knows that anger is dangerous. So
Yes.
could you please suggest something for this? And of course I had major acidity, then I had cold milk, and then I had coriander juice and stuff like that. So pit aggravation.
Yeah, it's a typical pitta. You're a pitta prakriti person, pitta predominant. What I should advise you is that apply Kshirabala Thailam on head every day before bath, half an hour, if you can afford to do it every day. Or actually 3 times a day. It will bring down your high temper to down. And take 10 to 20 dry black grapes. Wash it in warm water in the overnight and wash it in warm water and keep it overnight. Take with your breakfast. And make a habit of taking Guduji, which I told you in my earlier note. Guduji is a plant, Tinospora cordifera, it's stem juice every day. If you can get its powder, also you can use 1 or 2 teaspoons. And avoid all the refined oil from your diet. Please don't use any refined oils. Use organic oil or ghee, either coconut oil or sesame oil. Don't touch this, Sashtrabad, that is
Refined
what
oil.
No, this mustard oil. Don't touch mustard oil, will not suit to pitta people. You use ghee, coconut oil, thing for cooking, minimum. Take every day cucumber juice, tender cucumber juice. It's only temporary, but it helps a lot in the summer. Cucumber juice, fresh, you take it. Don't add any water to it. Just put in the mixie, make a juice and drink it. And make sure that you don't use red chili and green chili at all or to the minimum. But use all the mild spices instead of that, like haldi, dhania, jeera. And make fruit your friend. Fruit should be predominant in your diet. Slowly your pitta will come under control. And do deep meditation. There is something called Shidali Pranayama. You go to a good teacher. Shidali Pranayama cools down your body like anything. But it has to be learned from a good kind of a teacher how to do it. So tongue exercise also included in that. This thing, and please never get into hot drinks, any of the things, either wine or beer or hot other drinks will not suit your temperament. Take milk with little bit of turmeric and eat lot of fluids than hard food, always easily digestible.
Sir, two
And
last
every
questions.
weekly once you do abhyanga, body massage. Body massage helps a lot in pitta people.
Last 2 questions, sir. Anxiety and the effects of steroids that people are feeling after COVID. Steroids?
Yeah, steroids is a temporary thing, which is actually steroids are life-saving agents. Actually, we should respect steroid for that. in a given situation to save you from a very acute condition of inflammation, sure saves. But when you take it, it has so many side effects in the body in long time and short time. One of the things is your sugar shoots up like anything, your immunity comes down, you are prone to more and more infections. So once you are out of it, take more body strengthening elements like gooseberry, that is amla ka juice, amla ka ras, amla ka powder, and ghee. Ghee is very less understood food. If you can make good ghee at home and use it with the fresh ghee with your food in the morning, and if you can get also in this condition 1 spoon of cold pressed organic coconut oil, 1 spoon in the empty stomach, and eat lot of fruits, especially pomegranate. Pomegranate is a friend in this condition. Pomegranate is a wonderful fruit which you should use every day, and avoid all the fermented and reheated and refrigerated food during this time, at least for 3 months. Fresh food from the oven, no reheated food. Reheated means cooked in the morning, evening again put in the oven and reheat. Don't touch it. Don't do that. Then all the effects of that thing slowly will come down.
Sir, thank you so much. I know we have lots of questions. The doctor has been very kind. He shared his email. Please do send him your queries. Any last closing remarks before we end for the day? First of all, thank you for giving us also the extra time.
Thank you very much. I enjoy because I believe Ayurveda has the answers for many of the things. I believe Ayurveda is less understood. So I don't lose any occasion to say about Ayurveda. What I speak is Ayurveda, not my contribution. I am only a conveyor belt between you and the Ayurveda. I love whatever I do for Ayurveda. This book also written with that spirit about to take Ayurveda to the masses. So I enjoy that way.
Well, I would like to thank Penguin actually for bringing out the book. So Ayurveda, the true way to restore your health and happiness. A lot of people are asking where it's available. It's available on Amazon. Please do. We'd love to hear your feedback. This video will also be available on our Facebook page. So with that, Doctor, thank you once again. And with gratitude, we say good night.
Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you.